Salute, salute, salute. Yo, yo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate everybody for stopping in. We got an early video today coming out. But this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting one. So we just want to give people some time to get in the room, fill up the room, and then we'll start the presentation, right? And we'll get into exactly what's going on in our community, right? But congratulations and salute to everybody who's been rocking with us. Not just since the beginning of 2022, but obviously the previous two seasons as well, 2020, 2021 as well, and late 2019. It's been an amazing and incredible ride so far across three of the major sports, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the National Basketball Association. It's been some amazing things and incredible streaks, and just outrageous upsets that we've been able to put together. And we're gonna get into some things in this video. Definitely, it's gonna be very informative. I'm gonna let you guys figure out exactly some of the things that have been going on. So, without a doubt, if you're already in here, click that like button. Would appreciate it. Share the stream, repost the stream. All promotion is welcome. Cross promotion, whatever the case may be, everything is needed. YouTube really tries hard to censor our videos. This is great content. This is hidden knowledge that should really be promoted to everybody. But YouTube does a really good job of throwing our videos pretty much in the back burner, and they really don't help channels with our agenda get out there because of how much damage we can do to the elite, to the system. So we really need everybody's help as an individual to help us promote and get the channel and get the community even bigger than what it already is, right? But what this video is about specifically is, the current streak that we're on, right? So for anybody who's obviously the title of the video is the Utah Jazz win, which was a play from last night, which was able to keep our current streak going, right? So after last night, I should update this, but after last night, we're definitely in the realm of complete domination when it comes to the NBA. And as you can see in the second part of my title, is my current streak is at 25-1 again, right? Because this isn't the first streak of this nature that we've been able to put together. It's several streaks across multiple seasons, across multiple different sports. Like we said, we specialize and we focus on Major League Baseball, National Football League, and the National Basketball Association, right? Now, what makes our streak even more and more impressive, and I want to highlight this fact because this is pretty much what separates us from any other platform. There's a lot of so-called truthers, so-called decoders out there, but this is one of the things that sets us so far apart, all right? And it's a very big determinant factor, right? Our streaks that we've been able to put together, none of them include the huge Moneyline favorites that other people, other platforms, other channels, other Patreons, other decoders, whatever you want to call them, that they put, that they consider a win, right? For anybody who's a professional handicapper or sports bettor, they know once you start getting beyond that 170, 175 range, it's no longer a profitable play over a long period of time. So none of our wins are beyond that threshold of a negative 170, 175 line. a lot of other people, a lot of other platforms, they love to inflate their numbers, right? They love to make their winning streaks become more and more impressive than they actually are. Because what they do is they take huge money line favorite games like minus 200, minus 250, minus 300 money lines to keep carrying on a specific winning streak, right? So once you get about 5 or 6 games or 7 games in, what people love to do is to recommend these huge money line games to continue the streak going, right? Because whenever you supposedly take a huge money line game, it's a very, very high chance that that team is going to win. Not always necessarily the truth, or what ends up happening, the result, but this is a tactic that's used by people in this community to kind of throw some fog and some it's a gray area when you look at their win streaks. When half of their wins are huge money line favorites like minus 200, minus 300 money line favorites, those wins are included in their win streak, right? Which is very, very deceiving. And it's a tactic specifically used to to welcome and to invite new clients. It's pretty much a very, very, it's a scam tactic, right? It's very, very deceiving. It's not honest. And not only that, it's a big problem, okay? Because recommending these minus, like, how would you feel if you paid for specific work or content or a pick or a play, and the recommendation was a minus 250 money line favorite, and you lost that pick, right? This is some of the stuff that's going on in this community. This is some of the work that people are paying for, and people really have to be truthful and call people out on their shit, right? Bad work is bad work. Horrible recommendations are exactly that, right? There's no excuse. There's no, oh, we'll get them next time. A huge money line favorite loss is equivalent to maybe 2 or 3 of my losses, right? When you take a minus 300 line and you lose one time, that's equivalent to three even spread bets, 3 losses. So all that adds up, right? And what we wanted to highlight is all of our streaks that we've ever been able to put together are never including any type of irresponsible line like that. And that's what makes the streaks that we have been able to show and put and accumulate so much more impressive, because our streaks are probably 2 to 3, even 4 times more profitable and better than other people, because the way in which they go about getting their wins, right? Taking huge money line favorites, minus 300, minus 350 money line games. Okay, you won that game, congratulations. They include that in their win streak, and then the next day when they make a post of like a perfect day or their streak continues or whatever the case may be, it's very, very deceiving, right? Because it's not actually the truth. That's not something that should be recommended. That's not something that should even be counted as a streak when you're recommending these irresponsibly huge money line games. And that's what makes this streak right here even more amazing, because we keep it within a respectable, responsible attack range, which has proven to be super, super profitable. Okay? Yeah, sure. We can if we wanted to, we could recommend these ridiculous moneyline games, but that's something we've never done. We've never needed to do that. We don't have to chase wins. You know what I'm saying? The wins will come to us. We find them. All right? And I just wanted to highlight that and point that out, because there's a lot of that shit going on, right? A lot of people, they try, it's a competition thing, right? They see one person is doing amazingly well, so what they try to do is they're chasing that person now. And the way in which they decide to chase or compete is to recommend these huge money line games, these huge money line favorites, and kind of disguise the fact that they're not able to do adequate work. That's really the whole point of the situation. And another thing is, just when it comes to these winning streaks, right? You have to be very, very cautious about the people you support, right? So another thing that people like to do also, because we calling all this bullshit out today. Another thing people like to do is the famous winning days, right? So people love to do is they recommend several plays, right? Let's say somebody gives out 5 plays, okay? Now 3 of those plays win and 2 of the plays lost. So 3 out of the 5 won. So technically it's a winning day, right? Because you gave out 5 plays and 3 plays won. But the terminology of a winning day is very misleading, because not everybody's gonna have a winning day who followed you, because that's assuming that they followed every pick that you recommended, which they probably didn't. That's assuming that they bet evenly across all your plays, which human nature tells us they probably didn't. And that's assuming they got favorable money lines, which not every money line is the same. So that right there, the winning day terminology, that's a huge red flag. Whenever you see somebody saying, "Oh, we have like 5 or 6 consecutive winning days," yeah, you might want to look into that a little bit more and see exactly what's going on, because 9 times out of 10, the plays that they actually won on were probably bigger money line favorites than the plays that they lost on, which is not impressive at all, right? So the winning day terminology and the title that is often promoted in this quote unquote decoding community is very, very deceiving, right? It's another tactic. It's another, like, magician illusion of trying to lure in potential clients, new members, and then once somebody is in there and is able to actually see the content and what's going on, it's already too late, because they've already paid for the subscription. So they're gonna stay, a good percentage of 8 times out of 10, because they've already paid for the monthly service, right? So it's you roped them in, you got them, right? And that's because of the whole winning day terminology, right? Okay, that's another tactic that they love to use. Also, something else that is often used, just beyond those two things that I pointed out, is, so people love to be very cryptic with their decodes and their picks, right? Oftentimes you'll get certain picks will be bolded, right? Other picks will be underlined, and then other picks will be italicized. Okay? So then it ends up being whichever one of those categories wins more, the bold, the underline, or the italicized, would then turn into, oh, well, all my recommendations that were bold won, so we were perfect for the day. When in reality, that is so far from the truth. They actually gave out several picks, but because they weren't very specific, and they didn't tell you exactly which plays were their picks, they're able to get away with that, right? They're able to, after the fact, come back and say, oh, well, the bolded text and picks were actually, the picks for the day, and the underlined and the italicized ones were just, observations, or whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of funny business going on. There's a lot of, fraud activity and a lot of bullshit going on when it comes to this community. And the one thing that people can never say about my platform or my channel or my community is that we're 100% specific. I tell you what game to bet and how to bet it. There's no room for confusion. There's no room for misinterpretation. There's no gray smoke. There's no gray area. There's no cloudiness. There's nothing, to misinterpret, right? I'm 100% going to tell you the way in which I'm recommending you to bet the game and what game, right? I even go out of my way to give you some further information so you can kind of gauge your risk assessment, right? So you can gauge, how much money you should actually put out there, your level of comfort that you should feel when it comes to this specific play. That's something that nobody was doing, before I got here. And that's the funny thing about it, right? A lot of people, we see a lot of our strategies and a lot of our methods are being now adopted by other people, and it's really funny, right? Because they're trying to copy and imitate some of the things and strategies and disciplines that we've been promoting going on 2-3 years now, and they're trying to implement it in their own way, right? Without being too obvious, but still being very unsuccessful, right? So you're kind of like trying to take my content, my strategy, being unsuccessful with it, and then still at the same time talk down on the person who you're actually stealing the content from, right? The strategy from, that's like the biggest type of hypocrisy, in the world, right? That's going on right now, especially in this community. right? We're well aware of the trends that we've started. We're well aware of the strategies that we brought and we put into place, um, and what was actually going on in this community before we got here. So that was, these were some of the things I wanted to highlight and talk about because none of these things are spoken about, right? Nobody really gets called out. People are just, just allowed to, because they're under the truth umbrella, right? They're allowed to get away with so-called bullshit, horrible work, right? To be able to talk down on other people who are doing more and doing things better than they are. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. That's really a big issue right now. But people really need to get called out on that bullshit. Paying attention to character flaws. A lot of these people across these platforms and these different channels and Patreons or whatever, they have ulterior motives, right? They have hidden agendas. It's a money grab for them, right? It's all about that. And they could care less about how much you lose. They could care less about how much you're actually learning. And you can see if you really pay attention into the content that's being provided to you. Remember, at the end of the day, you're paying for a service. So imagine paying for a service, somebody explaining to you that Gematria is the best tool when it comes to sports handicapping. You're with them for a whole month or 2 months. You lose way over 60% of your bets, right? But then are expected to continue to support that person, to champion that person, even though the work is subpar. You can be fully aware of Gematria. You can even use it and still be very unsuccessful. It happens. People use this work and still are losers. I don't understand it. I don't comprehend that type of situation because that's not the case when it comes to my community. But I see it all the time. People love to stand under this Gematria umbrella and feel like it gives them some shield and some guard against actually doing solid work. And that's not the case. Okay? Anybody can do numbers, can type words into a calculator and try to match up one number with another number. A parakeet can do that. A monkey could do that. A dog could do that. Whatever the case may be, right? But paying attention and also adding strategies like line evaluation, right? Not having a recency bias, being able to identify trap games, right? Having responsible disciplines that keep you away from huge losses but maximize your winnings at the same time, right? Not practicing bad disciplines such as huge money lines, multiple parlays, right? Doubling and tripling down on the bet when you already have a potential great return on your investment if the bet pays out. A lot of people love to double and triple down on bet. I've seen it happen all the time, right? Like a lot of these cases with speaking about right now with the football and the NFL. A lot of people had, all across the board, different Super Bowl winners, right? Whatever the case may be. We're not going to say exactly who we had, but there was a whole bunch of different picks out there, right? You had the Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You could have had anybody, right? So let's say you had the Green Bay Packers, or the Tennessee Titans, or the Dallas Cowboys, or the Buffalo Bills, right? If you had any of those 4 teams, okay, on a future throughout the season, you got great potential return on your investment that you're looking for if they make it to the Super Bowl or if they win the Super Bowl. Why would you then recommend taking those teams every game along in the playoffs if you have a positive ROI waiting for you in the Super Bowl, potentially if they meet there, and they have negative money lines at the during the playoffs and games in which you're trying to attack them? That's doubling and tripling down on a bet, which is a horrible practice. And a lot of people get away with recommending these type of things. And the community, the people, the clients, the members need to call people out on their shit. That's stupidity, right? A lot of times, a lot of people are getting away with this shit, and it's just sad, man, because when stuff like that happens, it kind of takes away, the allure and the amazingness of when we're able to do things like this. Like this type of streak should be promoted and championed all across different platforms and different channels. The fact that in our last 26 plays we're 25-1 is incredible, especially when you keep in mind the fact that none of our lines are irresponsible, not beyond that 175 threshold. They're well within a range and include a nice percentage of underdogs. That's another thing. These other people that want to claim such winning streaks and all this shit never include underdogs. They don't win underdog plays. They might hit one underdog in fucking 2 to 3 months. You know what I'm saying? That's that's like a small, minuscule fraction of the amount of bets within a year. Last year we probably hit anywhere from 15 to 25% of our plays were underdogs. That is great ROI. When 1 out of every 4 of your bets on average, or 1 out of every 5 of your bets on average are underdog and you're winning it, that's incredible. You know what I'm saying? But these things aren't spoken about. And it's not just it's partially the community's fault because you guys aren't informed, you guys aren't aware, and you guys don't really know what's really going on, right? You guys don't know what's required as a potential bettor to be profitable for the year, right? Some of the best handicappers who don't use gematria, the best handicappers in the world, win at about a 56, in between a 56. In between a 55 and a 57 percentile, the best handicappers in the world. And that's profitable. 55 to 57%. And that's profitable for them. And I'm talking about these are the people that are charging, hundreds and thousands of dollars for picks. They're, in the top 2% in the world in sports handicapping. It's got nothing to do with gematria, but they're in between a success rate of 55 and 57%. We are way beyond that. Way beyond that, all across multiple sports, going on 2 to 3 years now, right? And still, we got to deal with the hate, the bullshit, and people trying to keep us small and not helping us, helping the platform get our name out there because, it's nobody wants to see another person grow, right? It's all negativity, even though it's the truth community. Right, we still have that crab in a barrel mentality, right? Nobody wants to see the other person win. Nobody wants to congratulate and salute to another person. Like, it's really, really embarrassing. I got no problem promoting and saluting another person who does great work, But the thing is that I have a requirement, right? I have a standard. I'm not just going to recommend or promote anybody. I recommend and promote people's work who I support, who I believe in. I will always support and recommend Zachary Hubbard's work. Always. Because he does adequate and amazing work. That's the reason why I stand on that. I'm not just going to promote and recommend anybody for the sake of it. Just kiki, ha, ha, ha. That's not how it goes, right? That's not how it goes. So I just wanted to speak about that and get the community aware of the things you should be paying attention to, right? Don't let somebody get away with, highlighting a winning day, right? Don't let somebody get away with highlighting a win streak when half of their wins are minus 300 Moneyline prices, right? Don't let people get away with bad work, right? If somebody has a bad month or a bad 2 months or a bad 3 months, call them out. Don't let them get away with trying to sucker other people in, right? And to pretend like they're actually doing good work when that's far from the truth, right? A spade is a spade. Keep it 100 on all levels, and we won't have any issues, right? So that's on the surface what I wanted to talk about. Obviously, in the background, we see the winning streaks highlighted because currently, that's the type of energy we on, and we'll get into what we decided to do yesterday. But yeah, I wanted to get that out the way. It's just a lot of hate, a lot of bullshit going on, but we're gonna, the love always overpowers the hate, so we're gonna focus on that. But yeah, let's get into what we decided to attack yesterday to continue the win streak, and realistically, we are it should be 26 or 27-1, because of what we decided to do yesterday, which was incredible. So let's check it out, right? Salute and congratulations to everybody who decided to tell us yesterday on one play. There were 6 games on the slate yesterday in the NBA. Some high money lines, but we decided to attack this one game. Okay, the Utah Jazz to defeat the Golden State Warriors. Very clear cut riddle. We were able to identify it and hit the decode right on the head. Continue the win streak. The Utah Jazz were about a minus 110, minus 115 money line favorite. So this, once again, another favorable money line, about even. Okay, a great game to attack. Not a huge money line minus 300 recommendation where you have to risk a 300 just to win 100. No, this is a minus 115, 120 money line favorite prior to the game. Okay, and obviously we were on the right side of it. The streak continues. Another perfect day. That's another thing too. You know, when we put out that we have a perfect day, that means it was a perfect day, right? There's no confusion with that. There's no something we got incorrect. A perfect day is a perfect day. And you know, people hate seeing that post of a perfect day, and you know, it's hard to believe for somebody to be this consistent and to be putting out you know, the work as often as we are, and to highlight the perfect days. You know, I get questions all the time: is this legit? Is this legit? All you have to do is join the community. You'll see the content. It's put up there. It's able to be you know, you can backtrack it all the way to when we started the platform. If anybody wants to you know, double, triple, quadruple check the work, it's available. All you have to do is join the platform, the Patreon, for a reasonable price. You'll be able to get the work, backtrack, look at it, and see exactly what we've been able to do, and verify 100% all my streaks are legit, not just this one. And as the video says, 25-1 again, because this is not the first time we've been able to do this, right? Utah Jazz yesterday defeated the Golden State Warriors. We love the Golden State Warriors to lose this game. The Utah Jazz to pick up their 34th win of the season, right? Yesterday was the 9th day of the month. 34 is the 9th Fibonacci number, right? Obviously, 34, the 9th Fibonacci number, which is what we loved. And we also loved, besides it being the 9th day of the month, obviously, Golden State Warriors, when it's broken down its entire name, Golden State Warriors equals 90 in full reduction. This is the purest cipher. 90, zero has no value in numerology. 90 can be looked upon as the number 9. Yesterday being the 9th day of the month, Utah Jazz pick up the 34th win of the season, the 9th Fibonacci versus the team, which equals 90, broken down to 9 in the full reduction cipher. And just to let you know how prevalent that actually was yesterday on the 9th day of the month, let's just take a look at you know, how many teams picked up their 34th win of the season yesterday. So let's check it out, because it was all across. We had the Cleveland Cavaliers picked up their 34th win of the season. We had the Chicago Bulls pick up their 34th win of the season. We had the Utah Jazz pick up their 34th win of the season. And we had the Portland Trailblazers remain on 34 losses for the season. 4 out of the 6 games, the 34 played. Very, very high percentile, as we said. Just ringing true and reminding you of how prevalent that 34 was yesterday on the 9th day of the month, because it played in multiple games. Over 50% of the games yesterday, the 34 played. Actually, it's even a higher percentile of that. The only game that it did play in this game, because the Cavaliers picked up their 34th win, but the San Antonio Spurs came into today on 34 losses, picking up their 35th loss of the season. So even though the Spurs did not remain on the 34, the Cavaliers picked up the 34. So every 34 possible was picked up or stayed on, with the exclusion of the Spurs. But like we said, the opponent picked up the 34. So very, very high percentile of the games yesterday, the 34 was prominent. It played out, and it just reminds us how on top of the riddle we are, because it played across multiple games. Super high percentage of the games yesterday. It looks like every game the 34 could have played, it did. So salute to everybody that decided to back us. and continue their winning streak, pad their their bank accounts, pad their bankroll for the future. Out of our last 26 and 27 plays, we've lost one game, which is really, really incredible. I also want to highlight the fact that one of the things we do promote on here too is a salute to all my veterans and my sharks. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about when I bring this up. I was contacted mid-game, right around the first quarter after the Golden State Warriors jumped out to a huge, huge lead. They took a 13-point lead early in this game, and what that did was it opened up an opportunity for the Utah Jazz, plus 230, plus 250, Moneyline comeback price to win the game, depending on what sports book, what casino, or what online book you use. It ranged from about plus 220 to plus 250 for the Utah Jazz to come back and win this game, trailing by 13 points, and that's exactly what they did. I got messages and DMs about multiple sharks and veterans of my community who've been with me a long time, who are able to identify a strong riddle. And they saw the earlier games, number 34, play out in multiple games, the Cleveland Cavs and the Chicago Bulls. And they felt very, very confident about the 34 playing out in the later game, Utah Jazz. So what they were able to do was not only take an amazing pregame price of the Utah Jazz minus 115, minus 120, they jumped on it during the game when they were down by 13 points, responsibly attacking a very great line, a great riddle, as well as, keeping in mind they've already saw the 34 play in multiple instances early in the day, jumping on a plus 230, plus 250 line, giving them a return of over 2.5 to 1 on top of an amazing pregame line. So a double and tripling it, triple attacking, a great riddle, one that you saw already playing out at the beginning of the day. And here we have a late night game where the 34 definitely played as well. So salute to all my veterans and sharks who were able to take advantage of that. That's exactly why, we're going to correct the video, because it's 26-1, right? Because the Cleveland Cavaliers picked up the 34, Chicago Bulls picked up the 34, as well as the Utah Jazz not only won this game on the money line, which was 100% the recommendation, but the Utah Jazz as well as covered the spread of minus 2 points. So either way you attacked it, the Utah Jazz minus 2 points, win. Utah Jazz money line, win. Utah Jazz plus 250 down 13 points, win. Cleveland Cavaliers picking up the 34th, win. Chicago Bulls picking up the 34th, win. Altogether, that's about 5 to 6 plays on today, right, that we can potentially throw in the winning streak. But we're not going to do that. We're taking the 2 plays, Utah Jazz minus 2, Utah Jazz money line, to carry the streak to 26-1. If you parlayed any of those plays throughout how amazing is this? Let's check it out, right? We're going to check out exactly how much a parlay would have paid you out. Because, people, we really got to highlight this stuff. The work is well underappreciated, right? And it's about time that this stuff really, really gets highlighted, because the work we're doing and what we're putting out is really, really unique, and it definitely deserves praise, right? A lot of people have no problem talking down on you, but what they struggle to do is give you credit, which is the bullshit part about this world. But let's get into it, right? So we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were about a minus 180 money line favorite yesterday. Chicago Bulls were about a minus 115, and then we had a minus 115 of the Utah Jazz. And the Portland Trailblazers, they were plus about 170 yesterday. So let's check it out. If you parlay those 4 plays and the number 34, because that was the number that played, let's check out what you were able to bring back. $100 investment in those 4 plays brought you a return of $1,368. So on one parlay, just focusing on the number 34, which was a number highlighted to us, right? No, I'm not hating on the parlay, Zach. I'm actually talking about the parlay now. But if you parlayed those 4 plays yesterday, you brought back $1,368, which is an amazing return, right? So crazy, all speaking about the same number, 34, and we've seen it play out early in the day with the Chicago Bulls as well as the Cleveland Cavaliers picking up that number 34, right? So So let's continue talking about it, because one other thing that we loved about this as well is the Golden State Warriors stayed on 41 wins, and Wednesday being named after Mercury equaling 41, and then their next opponent that they play, 41 in reverse full reduction. Um, the next opponent that they play is the Knicks. Knicks equaling 41 in reverse full reduction. So we love the Golden State Warriors to stay on that number 41 for multiple reasons. Obviously, we're just going to summarize the play because we do want to, pay respect and, respect the exclusivity of the content put out on Patreon. But just, referencing and speaking about one of the things that Zach said in the chat is I'm not talking down on the parlays, right? But I'm saying, the knowledge is best used consistently, because we both know a parlay at times could be very, very difficult. Yes, gematria puts you in the top percentile when it comes to being able to convert parlays, but obviously when it's used just attacking straight plays, it's going to be a higher conversion rate, which is ultimately what we're chasing, right? So it depends what you look at. Do you want to chase amazing value, which, yes, is what parlays bring you. Parlays bring you amazing value, and gematria is a key tool that can be used to magnify, your odds on hitting a bet like that. And it's also a small risk. So those are one of the highlights that Zach always speaks about. Small risk, amazing return, and that's very, very true. But what I'm referencing when I'm kind of saying that parlays can be irresponsible to a point is when you're risking huge amounts on parlays, and when parlays become, the majority of your bets. No, we focus over here on straight bets and prove that gematria used the correct way can give you super amazing consistent results. But again, the parlay brings you amazing returns. The parlay brings you great odds, and gematria definitely is a key tool used, to magnify, great returns on your money, and focusing on that small risk, which is an important element of of sports betting in general, right? So that's what I meant when I was talking about that. But we focus mainly on straight bets, as well as we do occasionally recommend a parlay when we fall in love with it, right? But mainly focus on straight money line plays, isolating and attacking one individual game, sometimes multiple games a day, as well as we sprinkle in teasers every now and then too. So for anybody who's not familiar, I just recently did a video on teasers, my last video or the video before, kind of explaining it and when it's applicable, to be applied, and when you should use it, right? So that's an interesting video people could check out. And but yesterday there was a bunch of games on the board. We loved the Utah Jazz to defeat the Golden State Warriors. Obviously they were extremely successful. They won the game by an amazing fucking an amazing was it 26 points, right? So we were right on top of it, and focusing and moving towards the future. The beginning of the video is really what I wanted to speak about when it came to people promoting these fake win streaks, or these quote unquote winning days, right? When that's not really the case. So be very aware of the people you choose to support. Like I said, I will always champion and promote the people that I believe in the work and the content that they're putting out. Unfortunately, that's only really one person at this point. The only person I do promote and give acknowledgement to is Gematria Effect Sports, Gematria Effect News. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm not just gonna promote somebody just for the sake of promoting somebody. I do believe in the work and the content that he puts out. So it is what it is. I keep it official. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. But yeah, that was the play for yesterday, and it was it brought back an amazing return to Utah Jazz. Like we said, there was multiple opportunities when they were trailing throughout the game. Live attacking these games is something that we've been promoting going on 2 years now, and this game provided an amazing positive ROI throughout the game. First quarter, second quarter, the game went back and forth for most of the first half. So you had a bunch of opportunities to jump in there and get the Utah Jazz at plus money. And, the second half, they really took over, so there wasn't really too many opportunities to jump in at that point. but the first half is really where the money was made, right? And salute to everybody who took it upon themselves to reach out to me and live and just let me know where their head was at, what they were thinking about as far as attacking, and just consulting with me their strategy and what they were looking at, and took even more advantage of that game. I know several people within the community jumped back in 2, 3, 4 times on this Utah Jazz plus money situation, and we're able to bring back great returns because they believed in the decode. They've been with me for a long time, and obviously they had seen that the 34 was playing in multiple games throughout the day earlier, and thankfully this Utah Jazz game was a game that started later on in the night, and they were able to just sit back, observe, and then kind of fire multiple bullets after that. So yeah. All right. So on that note, that's pretty much the video that we wanted to put out for today. I appreciate you guys. Thank you everybody for joining us. Get them likes up once the video is published. Come back, drop some positive feedback, additional observations. For those of you already not following me on Instagram and Twitter, it's MRFUT. You are the number 3 and S on Instagram and Twitter. Those are the easiest ways to reach out to me or to get a hold of me. And yeah, appreciate you guys. And if you could share the video, that would be very much appreciated. So enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully I'll be back really soon with some more content. And yeah, man, Gematria, as we love to say on this channel, Gematria at its finest. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Those of you not familiar, my name is Victor. Yeah, and we're out of here. Salute.